Meanwhile, Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan expand allied relations. The Majlis, lower chamber of Kazakhstan's parliament, ratified a treaty related to the issue that will give an additional impetus to multifaceted cooperation between countries. These and other major news from Central Asia is in my colleague, political analyst Ozhet Shigirbayev's review on Central Asia.
On May 16, the second six-party meeting of the transport ministers of Central Asian countries and China was held in the capital of Kazakhstan, Astana. Official delegation from 5 countries took part in the event, including the ministers of transport of the People's Republic of China, the Kyrgyz Republic and Tajikistan. The Director General of the Agency for Transport and Communications under the Cabinet of Minister of Turkmenistan, Ms. Mametxan Chakiev, and the First Deputy Minister of Transport of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Mr. Mamambiyo Umarov. During the negotiations, the ministers exchanged views on the current state of the transport sector, both within the Central Asian countries and in the broader international context. Particular emphasis was placed on the need for joint utilization of the region's economic, trade and humanitarian potential, especially in light of the region's growing role in international freight transportation. The heads of the delegations anonymously expressed support for the initiative to establish a multilateral transport cooperation program between Central Asia and China. This program is expected to serve as a foundation for deeper collaboration and digitalization in the sector. It will include the implementation of electronic document management, online cargo tracking, and the simplification of international road transport procedures. One of the key directions of this cooperation is a transition to electronic exchange of foreign permit forms, documents which is required for international transport. Kazakhstan already conducts such exchanges with China and Uzbekistan. Now, according to the agreements reached, this process will also be digitalized with Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan and Turkmenistan. As of May 15, a free trade agreement between the countries of the Eurasian Economic Union and Iran has come into force, allowing Kazakhstan to save up to 70 million of USD annually on export duties. According to the Ministry of Trade of Kazakhstan, due to Iran's removal of export duties on 88% of goods originating from EU countries, Kazakhstan is expected to save up to 70 million each year. The most significant benefits of this agreement are seen in the export of agricultural products. Kazakhstan can now export wheat, barley, sunflower oil, oil cake, corn, mutton to Iran without additional duties. This makes Kazakh products more attractive to the Iranian market and increases the potential for expanded trade turnover. The ministry also reported that in the first quarter of 2025, trade volume between the two countries reached 129 million of USD, an increase of 82% compared to the same period of last year. Kazakh export to Iran showed particularly sharp growth, increasing 6.6 times to reach 86.4 million of USD. The 18th meeting of the Turkmen-Iranian Intergovernmental Commission on Economic Cooperation was held in Tehran. The session was co-chaired by Turkmenistan's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Rashid Meredov, and Iran's Minister of Roads and Urban Development, Farzana Sadat Malikajert. The event brought together representatives of the government agencies and business circles from both countries, according to the Turkmenistan International Information Center. The participants discussed cooperation in trade and economic sectors, transportation and gas industry, agriculture, water management, as well as investment and standardization. They also reviewed the implementation of decisions made during the previous Commission meeting. The Turkmen side proposed the establishment of trade and economic zones in border areas to promote mutual trade between two countries. On May 20, 2025, an official meeting between the Committee for Technical Regulation and Metrology of the Ministry of Trade and Integration of Kazakhstan and delegation from the Uzbek Agency for Technical Regulation under the Cabinet of Ministers of Uzbekistan took place in Astana. The parties discussed key areas of bilateral cooperation in technical regulation, standardization, conformity assessment and metrology. Special attention was given to enhancing collaboration in conformity assessment, including the operation of the Information Center on technical barriers to trade and sanitary and phytosanitary measures, as well as state control mechanisms. Discussions also covered the prospect for deeper alignment of national standards with international and regional norms. Both sides shared updates on their current legislation and regulatory practices and expressed interest in further harmonization of their approaches. A key outcome of the meeting was the signing of a joint action plan for 2025-2026 between the Kazakhstan Institute of Standardization and Metrology and the Uzbek Center for Scientific Testing and Quality Control. The plan aims to deepen practical cooperation, facilitate knowledge exchange, and improve the quality of goods and services in line with international standards. Both sides reaffirmed their commitment to continuing constructive dialogue and viewed the agreements reached as an important step towards strengthening bilateral cooperation in technical regulation and standardization. This week, the Majlis of the Parliament of Kazakhstan ratified the Treaty on the Deepening and Expansion of Allied Relations between Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. The treaty aims to give new impetus to the comprehensive development of Kazakh-Kyrgyz cooperation. The document provides for the expansion of mutual beneficial cooperation and the comprehensive development of bilateral interaction in political, military, trade and economic, investment, agricultural, transit and transport, water and energy, educational, scientific and technical, and of course, cultural and humanitarian fields. In addition, the parties will expand and deepen cooperation in countering new security challenges and threats, including terrorism, extremism and separatism, as well as transnational organized crime, cybercrime, illegal immigration, human trafficking, and the illicit trafficking of weapons, narcotic drugs, psychotropic substances, and their precursors. Also, this week, the President of Uzbekistan, Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev, signed a law ratifying the Treaty on Allied Relations with Azerbaijan. The agreement was concluded in August 2024 and is aimed at strengthening cooperation between the two countries, also in political, economic, cultural and other areas. The Senate of the Oliy Majlis of Uzbekistan previously emphasized that the ratification provides a legal framework for the further development of interstate relations and the deepening of the strategic partnership between Uzbekistan and Azerbaijan.